Hey guys, my name's Colton.
And I'm Gabe, and we're both MET majors. Today, we will be explaining our Cut Probe Cut project for ET360. Our project utilizes the probing sensor on a CNC machine.
The probe works by physically making contact with the edge of the material and sending the position back to the machine.
In our project, we will cut a cylindrical design in a 3x3 piece of aluminum, probe the dimension, and run a finishing process to a perfect 2-inch diameter. All right, now that we got our 3x3 piece of aluminum cut, we're going to put it in the vise. And we're going to align it with this far edge and clamp it down. Now that it's clamped, we're going to set our work offsets. All right, now that we got our probe pulled up, we're going to probe to the center of our aluminum and establish a G54.
Thanks for getting the machine set up, Gabe. Now it's time to run a program. This first operation that you see us running, this is our adaptive clearing. This will remove most of the material for our part. We're going to leave 20 thou on the walls of our cylinder. We are running at 235 inches a minute with a spindle speed of 7,500 RPM. Now we're going to slow everything down to cut a finishing pass on this sidewall. We're going to leave 10 thou on the sidewall so we have something to cut after our probing routine, but we need a good surface for our probing routine. This is our probing routine. This is going to come in and measure what it thinks is a 2.02 inch circle. Once it measures it, it will take its actual findings and correct our cutter compensation in the wear page.
After running the probing cycle, the probe calculated a -8/10 diameter was needed to be added to the tool diameter.
Now that our comps are adjusted, we're going to run one final finishing pass to get to our desired diameter. As you can see, our part measures a perfect 2 inches. This should be repeatable no matter the condition of the tool. Now let's break down what's going on behind the scenes of our program. This is the code for the probing geometry. So our probe is held in slot T24. We're working in the G54 as that's what we programmed our part in. And then we're going to wrap it to the center of our part. Then we're going to bring the probe down to 2.2 inches above the top of our part. We're going to stage tool 1 and get it ready to go. Now we'll get into the subroutines of our probing cycle. This G65 tells the machine that we're about to pull up a subroutine. Our first subroutine is a P9832. This turns the probe on. Then we will go to a P9810. This is a protected positioning move. As we are moving the probe down to 200 thou above the part at a feed of 20 inches a minute, we wouldn't want that probe to crash into anything. So this subroutine puts us into a state where if the probe were to be triggered, it will immediately stop and alarm the machine out instead of continuing through whatever it is that it might be hitting and to totally destroy itself. Then we get to this P9814. This is a boss or bore probing cycle. Today we used it as a boss probing cycle as we were on the exterior of the part. Our diameter that we were looking to measure is 2.02 inches. When the probe comes in to do the measurement, it's going to go to a negative 0.2862 inches below our Z0 on our G54. When we are doing our measuring, we will be moving at 4 inches per minute. That's what the Q is. This R is our retract plane. As we come off of a measurement, we're going to be going to 0.4724 above the part. Then we're going to call up T1. This tells the probing cycle that we want to change the wear geometry on tool 1. And then this V0 is our tolerance. So whatever we get when we do measure this 2.02, it will automatically change the wear of our tool 1. So when we go back to recut, we will get our actual desired 2.02. Then we come down here to a P9810. Again, just like up here, a protected positioning move. And then we're going to bring the probe to a height of 200 thou above the part. And then we are going to rapid the probe up 2 inches. And then we're going to come to our last subroutine, which is this P9833. And this just turns the probe off. Then we are on to our last contour.
All right, guys, here's our finished product. As you can see, we made about 4 of them and held the same tolerance on all of them. So, all right, thanks for watching.